Hello, this is the 54th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will try to understand another content brief with the same principles, and in this time we will also talk about slightly the query nodes. And if you look at the structure that we are taking from the queries this time, one more time, we will actually see that a health line is here. Then again, medical news today is here too. This is the website that we are trying to outrank overall. And this is the web page that we are trying to outrank for this specific contextual domain. And when we look at the contextual vector that we have created, one more time, actually we have an explicit question query, which means that we will be focusing on the specific question. And once we ask a Boolean question like, is drinking cold water bad for you? Then we actually also add certain types of context terms like risks and the benefits. In this case, the risks and the benefits, they will be multiplied while this specific macro context has been processed. The terms like risks and the terms like benefits, they will be actually processed together with the drinking cold water. So we have seen drinking water, benefits of drinking water, drinking too much water, and right now we are focusing on drinking cold water. So this is the most important noun directly inside our macro context, and these risks and the benefits, they are actually multiplied and used together with this specific context. And the explicit question query is for especially increasing our overall relevance. There is one thing that won't change in information retrieval, and it is directly increasing the coverage or increasing the similarity between document vocabulary and the query vocabulary. Whenever one of these things appear in one of these areas, it will be increasing our overall relevance. But of course, things are not just like putting these things through these areas. It requires understanding all these contextual search principles as well. So one more time, we will be using the specific sections in this area. For instance, we have words like ice water, which is also relevant to our source context because we are not an ice water brand here, but it is Arctic water brand at the same time. And when we look at this part, our contextual vector, we ask the Boolean question, we add the context terms, and we know that it will be multiplied together with the specific main entity that we are using and the predicate here. And then here we ask the risks one more time. Risks and disadvantages we tell. This time we are using a conjunctive word here to be able to target both of the sections. Then which body parts can be affected by the cold water, and why do my teeth hurt when I drink cold water? And in this case, you will realize that there is H3 and H4 here. The same reason here is actually creating different types of subsections inside our article one more time. And while doing that, the teeth is part of the body. That's why it is coming after that, actually. Then we ask the benefits, and as you see, it is reflected here too. First the risks, then the benefits. First the risks, then the benefits. Then we ask a Boolean question, another Boolean question. If you have a Boolean question in your macro context, using actually its similar variations inside your contextual hierarchy, it will be helping you further. And then who should drink cold water, and should pets drink cold water? How much cold water should you drink in a day? Which is again similar to the question that we have seen before. As you remember, even from the root of the semantic content network, we were linking a highly similar question like this, and it is directly here too. How much water should I drink a day? One more time, we are using a highly similar question with a slight variation. This was what happening in the previous section too. And at the bottom, we are using an antonym, hot water. In this case, we are telling the warm, but we are using the hot water in this area. And here we are using a comparison, and from there we are linking somewhere else. In the future, we will see these comparative articles and the versus and or like terms inside the queries, and how they actually help search engines to create different indices. But this time, as you realize here too, we created a contextual vector based on the queries that we have seen in this area. Again, there are two columns. One is for being classified together and outranking it overall. When you look at this part especially, we try to keep it short as much as possible. Because usually in the Boolean questions, our purpose is just answering the question with a high level of certainty, and from there we will try to connect it to some other parts. In the next lecture, we will look at the article methodology and the anchor tags that we have used for this specific article. Thank you.